Attorney Drew Edmondson has had a great deal of exposure and expertise as a legislator, a district attorney, and Oklahoma's Attorney General for the past 16 years. He's our state's chief law enforcement officer, and he knows firsthand the impact of the issue on our state. Mr. Attorney General, thank you for coming, and thank you for being polite and letting all the girls go first. So please, let's welcome the Attorney General of the state of Oklahoma, Drew Edmondson.
Thank you, General Aragon. I want you to know I was an E5 in the Navy, and I'm always a little intimidated when I get introduced by a real general. But it's good to be here, and it's good to be here with all of you, and I commend you and thank you for the focus that you're putting on this extremely important issue. And Congresswoman Fallon, thank you for the work that you did on the task force back in 2004. And I thank those who participated in the Oklahoma Academy study in October of 2008 on why we have the incarceration rates that we have and what can we do about them. We have studied this issue, and we have studied it, and we have studied it. And every study that we've done of our incarceration rates and what's going on in our prisons come up with the same conclusions, that 80 to 90% of the people incarcerated have an underlying drug, alcohol, or mental health problem, and that nowhere along the line do we put the resources in place to treat those problems when they manifest within the criminal justice system. I was a district attorney for 10 years in Muskogee County, and I know how it works. Someone commits their first offense and they get a deferred sentence, an opportunity to clear their record if they complete their period of probation. They offend again. We're amazed. They come back into the court system. Their deferred is accelerated to a suspended. They're given a concurrent suspended on the new offense, and now they're a two-time convicted felon. They're looking at 20 to life the next time they get in trouble. And we send them out and say, don't get in trouble again. And we're amazed when they come back in. Because nowhere along the line do we say, what is your problem? Can we get you into a treatment program? Can we solve your mental health problem? Can we work on your alcoholism? Can we treat your drug problem? Because the facilities aren't there to send them to or to put them in or to refer them to unless they have insurance or resources. The Oklahoma Academy in their study, which I had the honor to participate in over 2.5 days last October of '08, recommended, as I recommend and have endorsed, the Department of Mental Health Smart on Crime proposal, which says very simply, we need over a 3-year period to put the resources in place to have mental health, drug, and alcohol treatment programs available in every section of the state of Oklahoma to intervene after the first or the second nonviolent drug offense to where we can solve these problems before they manifest, as they recently did here in Oklahoma County with a woman being sentenced to life in prison for shoplifting purses. Now, she had a string of prior convictions that long and finally ran the court out of patience. But there are two things that I'm fairly certain. One is that nowhere along that long string of prior convictions did we try to put her into a program to treat her underlying problem. And the second is that those are going to be the most expensive purses the taxpayers have ever purchased. Because at $20,000 a year to incarcerate someone, there has to be a better way. Amen. I had the honor, when I was district attorney in Muskogee in 1988, to speak to the national convention, the state convention of the League of Women Voters here in Oklahoma City. And I told them, as a prosecutor, and I had a reputation as a pretty tough prosecutor, but I told them that the earlier we spend money, the smarter it is and the more cost effective it is. If we can handle problems in the juvenile justice system, it's cheaper than handling them in the adult justice system. If we can handle them in our schools with counselors and guidance, it's cheaper than handling them in the juvenile justice system. If we can intervene early, if we can assure early childhood education, if we can have programs to make sure that pregnant women have adequate nutrition so children aren't born developmentally disabled, if we do all of these things early on, we are spending pennies instead of spending thousands of dollars down the road. I commend you again on your study. I hope you will do as the Academy did and endorse the concept of Smart on Crime so the Department of Mental Health can get the resources they need to put these programs into place. And I look forward to working with you to implement them as we go down the road. Thank you very much for having me here today.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney General. We know that we have a number of elected officials with us today. I saw Sheriff Wetzel. Could we please ask all of the elected officials who are in the state of Oklahoma, county, state, and city, please stand and be recognized.